Because I'm curious what happened here. Because when I hear the name Amouranth, I'm always like, neuron activation. Neuron activation. Amouranth finally turned everyone against her by Optimus. What does he mean, finally? Like, people didn't like her all that much already because, like, oh, my husband is, sexualizing me and, like, forcing me to do all this stuff. Oh, yes, after that, I'm proceeding, I'm getting a divorce and then I will proceed to sexualize myself anyways. That is her. That is her. Let's see.
Alright, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we're going to be talking about a recent situation that has been unfolding with Amouranth. She is kind of in the crosshairs right now. She said something that upset a whole bunch of people, go figure, and she's having a pretty rough time, I think, kind of responding to all of it here. So the real reason I want to talk about this one,
I'm scared if it's gonna be anything based, then it would scare me.
Here is because I think that this is a perfect kind of like case study for really what you shouldn't honestly do as a creator, because I understand when people are like shitting on you or talking crazy to you or whatever, the instinct to want to respond and defend yourself, it's gonna be there, but you also have to remember that you're arguing with random people on the internet, and this is something I think everybody goes through, right? Like everybody, you know, argues online.
I've argued less and less. For example, here on YouTube, if I see, like, me being insulted, I'll just straight up go, hide user. I don't care anymore. I'll just go, hide user, gone, bye-bye, good riddance, I do not care anymore. Like, the more bigger this channel gets, the more chill I am with just nuking somebody. I don't care anymore.
At some point,
the block button has become my best friend nowadays
in their life, but you also do have to realize at a certain point in that dialogue that you're making absolutely no headwind. You're not really producing anything positive for yourself. You're really just kind of digging the hole deeper that you apparently don't want to exist, right? So this is probably just like one of the worst ways you can like actually respond to people who are shitting on you online. Now, granted, 90% of what people were saying to her wasn't even really criticism. They were just like actually shitting on her, like telling her that she sucks or everybody hates her or she should just go away, right? Like, it's not really criticism, you're just kind of being a shithead, right? But that is how the internet is, right? I mean, I've probably gotten tens if not
I wouldn't say that that's how the internet is. It is more so a development of current times where the internet has turned into shouting matches. Like, I'm shouting over to your side, you're shouting over to my side. That is more so a development of modern times, I would say, thanks to Twitter. Or X!
Hundreds of thousands of combined comments on social media from people telling me, oh, I hate your videos or whatever, right? It is what it is. Now, it all really started when Amouranth kind of, I guess, vocalized a little bit of a political opinion, okay? Now, this is the problem with especially Twitter here. This is where everything took place. You can't really voice your opinions on Twitter without invoking this kind of...
True. Never say your political opinion on Twitter. Or you might get, or the mob will come. Though then you should not bow to the mob. You shouldn't.
Reaction from people. Twitter is pretty much internet-wide known as like one of the more toxic shitfests, and if you go there to discuss anything political, no matter what your opinion is, you're gonna have just like the most delusional, insane people screaming at you from the void about shit that they probably don't understand as well, but that is once again part of using this website. So I guess Amouranth is streaming on Kick now. I didn't really know that, to be honest, but that's where this clip is coming from here, so I'm gonna go ahead and play the clip.
If you say that you're afraid of Trump and that's why you don't want the city to be a safe space for trans people, you better prepare for trans people to make this a very unsafe space.
And you could not.
Was she just like, was that a thread? Huh?
9 times out of 10, figure out exactly why they're saying what they're saying. Give the crazies all of California. It's already land of fruits and nuts. Yeah, we can give them California. I'm fine with that. They can live in LA. That's fine.
It has been 1 month since Southern California.
Ooh. Ooh, that is a interesting take. The crazies can have. I mean, obviously, I'm gonna straight up say it. You shouldn't, even if they're crazy, you should wish for them to burn. Obviously, even if they're crazy. The putting them all in one place would probably work, like the crazy people. And I mean, just crazy. No matter who you are, just crazy.
Exploded in a fierce fire
They can have
toward
that.
the Palisades and beyond. Just a few hours later, on the other side of LA County, another deadly fire breaks out, the Eaton Fire. It raced across Altadena and Pasadena. The two fires charred more than 37,000
Right there.
acres,
They can all live. That's
over
like a lovely
16,000
community.
structures, and cost 29 people their lives.
Too bad.
This is a dangerous take. She's playing with fire here. What the fuck? I've never expected from her a take like this. What the heck? I mean, crazy like that. She was pretty, like the lady earlier. Maybe lady. I do not know. But the person earlier threatened violence. I consider that crazy. So she would be put there. This is a non-based take. I'm conflicted.
I didn't cause the right people to laugh.
So basically, she made the claim that LGBTQ plus activists who went to like a city or a council meeting and made like vague threats, her argument was that they should have been burned in the LA wildfires that just happened a little while ago, right? Now, obviously, the clip was actually initially taken a little bit out of context. The official clip that was posted around didn't have the clip of the activists that she was discussing, so I went ahead and I weaved that in there for you guys. That way you could get like the full picture here, right? Now, obviously, a lot of people took a problem with her comment here, right? And it basically started getting spread around in a lot of like different communities and stuff on Twitter. And that's where a lot of this really kind of popped off. Now, obviously, people started screaming at her and shitting on her and whatnot. And so she decided to respond to the criticism for the tweet, or not the tweet, but the clip that she made with a tweet that says, "I guess I'm not allowed to question the behavior of activists who threaten to incite violence against their own community without being accused of hating the group affiliation they happen to belong to. But then again, I also don't assume the actions of a specific few are indicative of the whole. But thanks for making me trend." And then she posted the clip that, like I said, wasn't initially in the clip that was going.
I'm conflicted. Because, I mean, saying that you're gonna like, be violent, if that happens, that I consider that certainly crazy. Huh.
Around, so I just went ahead and weaved it all together for brevity and also for clarification. So obviously her response to these people who were angry over all of this did not go over well whatsoever, and it really never does when you're discussing these kinds of things. It doesn't really matter.
It never does, because most of the time people really don't care what you're saying. It's mostly just that you said anything against that specific group because it is a protected group. Whether it is actual genuine criticism or not, it does not matter. And I don't know. She's not helping your case? Not really. I didn't even... Am I crazy for saying that this isn't specifically going against, like, LGBTQ? It's more so... crazy people that you meant? And that was certainly crazy? I don't know. She's not helping her case. Not really. At least, you can't win against... I'm gonna say it, you can't win against the Twitter mob. You can't anyways. You might as well roll with it. I've seen more and more people just roll with it because you can't win.
Matter what you say if you're Amouranth here, right? If you double down, which she did in this whole thing here, right? She doubled down on her take on this one. You just risk upsetting people even more. You make them scream at you even louder. You make them even more fucking vitriolic and make them act even more like ridiculous in your comments. And I don't think that's really what she wanted. And that's probably why she responded in the first place, because like all of the noise and whatever about this was just getting on her nerves and whatnot. It did trend, like she said. So, but the problem is you're not ever going to convince these people. Now, no matter what she says here, she's not going to get these people to just magically be like, oh, I understand now. She doesn't like the violence and the extremism or whatever that was made in the comment. You're never going to get these people to understand what exactly it is you're trying to say, or like what your viewpoint is.
Because they're not trying to understand. They don't want to understand. That's the main problem here. No, it isn't but part of LGBTQ crazy, or after her, and she's fueling the fire. Yeah, and she probably didn't want that, but she doubled down. Now she gotta run with it. She just has to wait a week or so. Then nobody gives a rat's ass, though. That's usually how Twitter works. I wouldn't have probably not even responded to outrage and just continued my normal life here.
They really don't give a fuck about that. They're just looking to use it as an excuse to attack you as a person. That's all that this comes down to. They're there to attack you based on what you think and how it differs from them. That's how this always starts on these websites and shit, right? Well, she doubled down, or she could have apologized to them and been like, oh,
No. I'm actually more happy with her doubling down than her apologizing, because they don't want you to apologize, they want submission. That's usually how the Twitter mob does not want apologies, they want submission, because if you apologize, they will still constantly bring it up over and over and over and over, and they will not let it go. There's no point in apologizing.
I'm sorry for what I said, you know, I was wrong in second thought or whatever. Even if she didn't mean it, or whether or not she meant it, it wouldn't have mattered, because even when you apologize to like politically charged people online, they're never going to accept your apology. Whatever they've made up in their mind about you has already been made up, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter what you say after that. You could take it back or whatever, they're just gonna leave comments like, oh, and now you're trying to backtrack. Curious, like there's nothing you can say that is going to insatiate these people's appetite for destruction in this instance, right? They just want to tear you down because they don't like your side of the take or whatever. But unfortunately for her, it spiraled out even more beyond this, because
interesting, you apologize once and you'll have to do it again and again. Yeah. At this point, like, if people hate you, just roll with it. You can never make... They made the decision, it doesn't matter.
Go figure, people in the comments did not take politely to everything that she was saying here. And so people were responding, you know, telling her she fell off, or calling her a grifter, or posting her stats of like how her accounts have basically fallen off traction. You know, back in the day, 2022 and shit, she was having like damn near everybody on Twitch and shit donating her subs. The hot tub metas and all this shit that she was taking advantage of were still in full swing. So she was getting promoted on the homepage by the cucks at Twitch. And so, you know, she was having
a slight punch into Twitch's direction. I can see it.
Great time, but now she's moved over to Kick. She's not streaming there on Twitch anymore. She's kind of teetered off in terms of popularity, which it happens as part of being a creator, but she didn't take too kindly to this being pointed out. And in fact, her response to this, I guess, accusation of fall off was, if I ever put fries in a bag, it'll be a publicity stunt because I own all the McDonald's in my city, but go off. Obviously, this did nothing but piss people off even more. Now, not to be a dickhead, I'm just pointing out the obvious here, right? 95% of people on either side of this who are going to interact with this tweet, they are working normal dead-end jobs like McDonald's or whatever, right? They're working jobs that they don't like. They're fucking Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, that was not the smartest move to pull off. I agree. That was not the smartest move to pull off. Yeah. He's pointing out the obvious. That was not the smartest move.
Employees, or their movie theater ushers, or their janitors at the city hall. You know what I mean? Like, they're doing something that they probably didn't envision themselves doing.
You're shooting at the wrong team here. You're shooting at the wrong team. you're shooting at the wrong team. The regular people did not attack you. It was the weirdos on Twitter.
As a kid. And so when you make a comment like this where you're like, oh yeah, I own all the McDonald's in my city, fuck you poor idiots, you put the fries in the bag. Sure, maybe you're right, you know, maybe you do own all the McDonald's in your city, maybe you are super rich, maybe the hot tub meta got you paid, right, and the OnlyFans and all this other shit, right, but these people don't want to hear about it, okay? They don't want to hear that you're rich, they don't want to hear that you're a millionaire, they don't want to hear that you don't have to care about anything else in the world, they don't want to hear that. I mean, they're already, if you haven't been able to tell, most of them on this side of the argument are leftists, okay? And so if you've ever interacted with most of these Twitter leftists who are in your comments screaming at you and shit, they don't necessarily care for rich people. They already think that you're doing something wrong.
I meant more so that Amouranth is shooting into the wrong camp.
Simply by hoarding all your wealth or whatever they'd say. So you're not going to convince them of anything with this point. In fact, you're only serving to anger them even more and continue giving them fuel to like come at you in the comments or whatever, right? Well, once again, now people at this point, they're, oh, I lost respect for you. You were an idol to us. Now you're nothing. You fell off. Shit like that, right? Obviously, it's...
Okay, who takes Amouranth as an idol? Yes, I want to be a whore on Twitch. You were my idol. Now I no longer want to be a whore on Twitch. What? How? Okay, that's a new one. I've not heard that.
Shit they wouldn't be saying if they didn't have a different take than you on this topic about the like LGBTQ activists in that clip or whatever, right? But that it is the way that it is. Like these people, they think the way that they think, they are entrenched in their beliefs. You're not gonna change them. And it's the same thing with Amouranth. Like if she thinks that like, you know, all of this shit going on is ridiculous or like, you know, she thinks those people took it too far, you're not gonna change her mind by going in her comments and calling her names and telling her she's a fucking idiot, right? That's why political discussions online typically lead to absolutely nothing. Well, Amouranth continued and she posted, honestly, I'm not even gonna read all of it. It's literally so fucking long that I'm not gonna sit here and read all of this to you, but I am gonna go ahead and read like the first couple paragraphs of it here. So y'all keep referencing side.
I'm gonna read what he does not read.
And saying the word grift like you're playing a video game and how on the character select screen it's utterly frictionless to pick a different face. Y'all are the real two-faced fucks. Total brain rot. Keep self-reporting. I just call it like I see it. I don't have an agenda or some master plan to appeal to another demographic. I have made so much fucking money that the incremental dollar doesn't make me compromise in the way you might. Anyone that thinks that switching political allegiances is some kind of profitable endeavor is just projecting. Maybe for a political streamer, cough grifter, the economics make sense, but for my segment of the market, it is not financially rewarding to speak your mind. Literally, people make jokes about how they watch my stream on mute. You're thinking I'm doing this for money says more about you than it does about me.
The thing is, like, she can have her political takes all she wants, right? I don't think she loses the dollar from this, to be fair, because consider this. Most that watch her are gooners. And they're gonna goon regardless of whether she has political takes or not. They're not here for her politics. I mean, sure, she might alienate some of them. But certainly not on Twitch. It's just like... She's likely not going to lose anything from this.
I'm certainly not against any group or affiliation. To a fault I've never been able to see beyond what is right in front of me, and what I saw was a person threatening violence indiscriminately in a town hall setting, to their own community no less, and many others acting in a manner unbecoming. Do you think everyone at that town hall deserved to be violently threatened? That context that my detractors, with your head in the sand or so far up your own asses, miss, is the following quote from the clip I shared, quote, "If you say you're afraid of Trump and that's why, then you better prepare for trans people to make it a very unsafe place."
What is it? Wait. If I interpret it that right, actually right. That activist is shooting into the wrong camp as well. Huh? Huh? I'm confused. So are they actually saying that if you as an LGBTQ member don't want to speak out because you feel like it's unsafe because of Trump, you're also being receiving violence? Well, that's gonna help your cause, because now they're not gonna speak up because they're also afraid of you. What? Huh? She sounds so cocky in this pose, the way she framed her sentence or not. Yeah, she sounds really cocky. She sounds cocky, but she's not wrong. Like, this section here is retarded. Like, this doesn't help your case. You're making it worse. This activist is at least... What? This activist is stupid.
Who does this threat target? Not Trump, who they profess to hate, not his supporters, who they consider birds of a feather. No, they don't make their violent threats against these people. Instead, they explicitly threaten the people who, under duress, might accede to a position that they are against. Those are the people they go after, innocent bystanders, just trying to avoid the crossfire at all costs. You can't even defend them by saying that they're merely callous in their acceptance of what might or who might be collateral damage. They singled out specifically the fellow citizens in their own community. Isn't that literally the definition of domestic terrorism? Now, I'm not here to...
He read all of it.
Argue who's right, who's wrong. Like I said, sitting here and having this fucking political debate is just going to be stupid. It's not going to solve anything. No one really gives a fuck at the end of the day what anyone else thinks. They already have their mind made up. So like I said, making this post here, like this fucking essay written on your profile here, you may think that you're like actually explaining your logic. And sure, to like the 5 or 10% of people who are reading it with an open mind or they don't really know the full context or whatever, right? You may explain it to them, sure. But to the people who are shitting on you online and are like attacking you for your beliefs, this is never going to change their mind. Because do you really think that these people have never heard like actual arguments from reasonable people on...
True, Poke. If we don't agree on something and I'm constantly acting like I'm above you or something, we'd argue more. That's what she's doing right now. True, that is true. I just was confused at like what the activist was saying. Like, why do you shoot in your own at people in your own camp? It makes no sense.
On both sides before. Do you really think they've never heard anybody say something somewhat similar to this? Of course they have. People have been saying shit like this for years at this point. I mean, especially like when it comes to this whole Trump debate and shit like that. This has literally been a decade-long argument in the United States now, at least. So, I mean, you already got these people to where they're at. They're not going anywhere. They're not changing their fucking mind. You're not really explaining it to anyone who is leaving these comments. That's the problem. Now, like I said, a lot of these people all of a sudden they lost respect for her because they had a different take than her on this issue or whatever, or they saw a clip from her stream or whatever that they didn't agree with. Now, what I will say is funny, all of these people act like this has been the straw that broke the camel's back. It was never the fact that Amouranth for years was abusing the terms of services and the fucking metas of websites with basically the...
I mean, he isn't wrong. Like, people are actually acting like that is it. Amouranth cancelled. It's like, what? The getting around the TOS of Twitch, the lying about the whole husband situation, and you think that is like the biggest problem with her? Yeah, no, I don't believe you. Because they're crazy? Yeah. Reasonable people aren't on Twitter. Damn it, I'm not reasonable. Fuck me, dude.
The support of the staff of the websites to basically promote, like, nudity and shit like that to children and to teenagers and shit like that. That was never a problem. In fact, she was a hero to a lot of these people for doing that and making money on Twitch by, you know, doing the hot tub shit or whatever, promoting her OnlyFans and whatnot. That was never the thing that did anything. You know, that wasn't worth any criticism. In fact, her faking that whole, like, domestic abuse situation shit with her husband where she acted like she was in, like, this horrible fucking duress and then went back to him and acted like nothing happened. That wasn't enough for anybody to say, oh, you know, this bitch is fucking crazy or ridiculous or stupid or whatever, right? None of that shit was enough to call her a grifter or anything, but now all all of a sudden that she has a political take they disagree with or whatever, right? That was enough to get people fucking angry and hating her. I do find it funny what people like pick and choose to like get mad about, but like I said,
the word grifter at one point meant something, and now everyone who has a right-wing, or even center opinion, now those people are all grifters, regardless of if they actually are on that political aisle or not. It does not matter. It doesn't even financially benefit most people. That's the funny part. First of all, they are shooting someone when it doesn't really need it, so well, they aren't the most sane people out there. Yeah.
These are people who, a lot of them spend all of their time online getting in these arguments over politics and shit, like getting mad over shit. That's just kind of what they do, right? So you're not gonna win any ground with them. And then when you're sitting here like insinuating that the people they support are like domestic terrorists, once again, you're not gonna get their support. Whether you're right or you're wrong, you're not gonna get these people to stop yelling at you. So ultimately too, I just want to point this out, right? Like Amouranth built her entire career, like I said, basically showing off her body and like promoting OnlyFans and all this other bullshit, right? I hate to be that guy, but people are not legitimately coming to you to hear your fucking political takes. It doesn't, to me...
I mean, true. Nobody cares about political... If you're not a political content creator, usually you shouldn't talk about politics. I only usually watch political stuff when it's when I watch shoe-on-head videos, and that's about it.
At least matter what side of the aisle that you're on, if you're left wing or you're right wing or you're fucking center or whatever, right? It really doesn't matter. People come to you for a very specific reason. And she even claims in the tweet, you know, people like joke about watching her shit on mute. So at that point, like, why even get into this? Why even get into the fucking political debates? Just do what you're doing. That's getting you your money. That's getting your bag up. That's fulfilling you in life. And just let it be, right? Like, just let it fucking be, man. There is no reason to sit here and, like, put yourself in all of this. And then to, like, sit here and try and argue, oh, well, I'm a millionaire. I own all these McDonald's. Like, okay, cool. I'm honestly proud of you or whatever. Like, good job that you're succeeding in life, honestly. I'm not gonna sit here and hate on you for that, but these people don't care. They don't want to hear it. You're basically barking at a brick wall when you're doing that, right? So, I don't know. I thought it was pretty intriguing how this has all gone down.
I mean, it's fun to watch, certainly. I think big content creators should more often have their political takes and post them on Twitter. It would be more fun to watch. This is more like a... Don Quixote fighting windmills. You're not winning. Like, what are you doing?
Honestly, very fucking pointless situation from all sides involved, but it is what it is. That is the internet 99% of the time. So anyway, with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel.
That's pretty much the end of the video. That was nothing that I can't really much say. I think you should just, like, don't post your political takes on Twitter. Though, usually if you have political takes, in general, and you're a bigger creator, they're gonna make their way onto Twitter anyways. Just roll with it, don't argue, just accept the Twitter mob being Twitter mob, and that's it. The goal word is, it is what it is. Yep, it is what it is.